Hello, everyone, and welcome to MT4 Professional. My name is Randy Lindsay. I am your host today. We're here for educational purposes only, and we're going to be going over trading strategies using the MT4 Professional Scanner. If you have any questions or comments during the presentation, please use the webinar chat or the questions and answer panel, the Q&A panel on your Zoom control panel, and I'll be glad to answer your questions as we proceed through today's presentation. MT4 Professional and Resilient Traders are not investment advisory service, and we are not registered trade advisors, so we cannot give you any specific trade advice. But what we can do is teach and train you how to use our remarkable platform on any of the MT4, MT5 brokers, and how to set up a trading plan that is both consistently profitable and successful. Futures, stocks, Forex, options, cryptocurrency have a large potential for reward, and you can make a lot of money. But they also have a large potential for risk, and you can lose a lot of money. So you must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. So please don't trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. Never, ever, ever trade in a live account until you have first proven that you can consistently and profitably trade in a simulated account. And only then can you start tackling the mind game, the real basis of trading. I am Randy Lindsay, your trade coach, operations director here at MT4 Professional. Joining me today is Claudio Cardinal, our product development director and all things technology guru. We're here to teach and train you how to use our strategies and how to use MT4 Professional. And today we're going to be going over trading strategies on the MT4 Professional platform. I want to talk a little bit about what a market scanner is and what MT4 Professional is. And I will give you a live demonstration of how the scanner is set up and used with several examples of strategies that are working in the market today. I'm going to make a very special offer at the end of today's presentation, so stick around for that. And of course, throughout today's presentation, we'll have questions and answers. So let's get right into it. There are a lot of popular trading strategies available today. Many people are using them with great success. Some of them are like the EMA and price, which is a pure price action strategy, looking at price bars relative to a exponential moving average. There's the MACD and signal, which is looking at a moving average convergence, divergence indications, and a signal line, which is like a moving average cross. Speaking of moving average cross, the next one is probably the most popular one. It's just a cross of several moving averages to determine not only trend, but congestion and consolidation. And then you have the combination of all three or many others, like the EMA and price, a MACD and signal, a relative strength to determine overbought and oversold conditions or breakout. And there's always the ever popular alligator indicator, which is a longer term swing or trend trading strategy for people that trade weekly or monthly charts. The MT4 Professional Scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many, many more, and it can alert you when the conditions are met to show profitable or to show trade is being set up. So if you are here and if you are currently an MT4 Professional user, or if you're here for the very first time, we're going to put a poll out to see how many of you here today are with us. Are currently subscribers, or if you are here for the very first time and you are just need more information. So if you're currently using MT4 Professional, let us know. And if you're not, let us know. You want to know more. Okay. All right, that looks good. So it looks like about 38% of you. of the class have not tried it. Actually, more like 76%. Majority of the class have not used it, but you want to know more or you want to try and get it. So that would be great. All right, so look forward to that. You see that? Awesome. All right, so let's look at the scanner. Let's look at what MT4Professional is all about. And again, if you have questions, that's what I'm here for. So make sure and ask your questions as we proceed through the presentation. If you look at the 50 different Forex pairs available to you on MT4, 20 CFDs, 9 different timeframes, that's more than 630 combinations that you have to look at if you're trying to find a trade setup. So do you really think you're able to do this manually? How often do you miss opportunities when you're searching and looking for things when the real trades are going off on some other pair or instrument that you have not gotten to yet? Well, today, trading on different instruments is a must to make trading profitable. In fact, trading uncorrelated instruments, those are instruments that are not related, is a great way to remove uncertainty out of an instrument while you diversify your portfolio. So looking at this, looking at all the different pairs and stuff, a perfect solution is a market scanner because it's going to do all the scanning for you in the background automatically. So what it does, it allows you to scan the market for any symbol or any time frame using your own rule sets based on your own standard or custom indicators and provide you with an alert when the setup meets your criteria. So it's not a signal provider per se, but it's a tool that allows you to analyze all of your strategies using the indicators that you want, the time frames, and the instruments. So a simple example is a cross of 2 moving averages. Let's look at the MA15 and the MA30 as the example. A bullish cross was when the MA15 crosses over or greater than the MA30, and a bearish cross is when the MA15 crosses under or less than the MA30. And if it's a bullish cross, I want to see a green cell. As you can see over here on the right, I have like a spreadsheet layout with instruments on the left-hand side and time frames over on the right. And for every time frame and for every instrument, I want to see whether it's bullish or bearish based upon the setup. Now, the question was, since I used Forex symbols here, if it can be used for indices, and of course it can. It can be used for indices and crypto, stocks. If you have the data feed on your MT4 or MT5 brokerage, then MT4Professional Scanner will work for those symbols and those markets. So looking at this, you can see very quickly which pairs are in favor, either bullishness or bearishness. So if you're looking at reversal type setup trades, then you can see there are quite a few opportunities here that alert you to the fact. So just because I'm looking at 2 moving averages, I'm not limited to just the US dollar pairs. I'm limited only by how much I can put on my screen at one time. So a market scanner does all the work for you so you can focus on the more important things like managing your trade or getting your mind where it belongs. You know, once the market's set up, it alerts you when the rules are met using your own strategy. All right. So, for example, on the right, we see an EMA and price strategy. So I want to see a green bar whenever price is greater than my 15-period exponential moving average. I want to see a red bar whenever the price is less than the EMA. So whenever I see positive or negative price action relative to this exponential moving average, I want to see the output of that across any instrument. And here I've got Forex, I've got indices, I've got commodities, I've got cryptocurrencies. So it doesn't matter if you've got access to the data feed, you can look to see whether you have a full spread bullish or bearish spectrum if you're looking at full reversal setups or just a continuation of an existing trend. It's all there and it's all easy to identify and see across whatever instrument or time frame that you happen to be trading. So I mentioned multiple timeframes quite a bit. And, did you know if you trade using multiple timeframes, there's a higher probability of a profitable trade? Well, it's due to correlation, and it's just one of the advantages of using multiple timeframe technical analysis. So by checking multiple timeframes before you initiate a trade, your trades will be in harmony with the market if you trade in conjunction with the longer term trend. Here's a quick little example showing you the longer term trend, and you see these shorter term markets like the 15-minute. Look how much noisier the 15-minute is when you see a much longer term smooth trade. So because the 4-hour chart is moving up with a couple of corrections in that, the overall trend is much longer and toward the long side. If you trade the 15-minute in the direction of that 4-hour chart, then you're going to have a higher probability and lower risk that your trade will end profitably, because you're not going to be taking these short-term corrections, because you're always going to trade in the direction of the long-term trend. So if a market scanner could search for setups based upon your own specific rules that I showed you earlier and verify it with multiple timeframe technical analysis, it would be an extremely valuable tool. Here's a quick example to show that. You can see the blue crosshairs showing the location of the cross of price action over the 15 EMA. You can also see a MACD histogram cross over the signal line, which is also bullish. You can also see a relative strength rising with strength. So the previous value is greater than, and it's coming out of a region of being completely oversold. These are all very bullish indications. So I would like to look at taking a trade at that point. I verify that on my second time frame by looking at the MACD cross and a bullish relative strength. And then with my third time frame, all I need to look for is a bullish relative strength. And it not only is it bullish, but it's also coming out of an extreme oversold condition. So those are all three very strong factors pushing me into this trade, which ended up yielding over 100 pips of profit for that setup. And this is on a 4-hour daily weekly chart. You could do the exact same type of analysis using any time frame that you wanted. This is just the example that I had used. And so by looking at and identifying the setups on my 4-hour and daily chart, I saw that I had a great opportunity and I could enter that with confidence. So by taking trades in harmony with the longer time frame, I get a lower risk trade and higher probability of the trade outcome in my favor. So the powerful combination of these two shows for any trader that the importance of using multiple timeframes is a must. So a market scanner that uses multiple timeframe analysis is valuable and is a tool that works automatically for you. Yes, yes, John, it can work for futures as well. If you have access to the data on your platform, it can work for futures, stocks, Forex, cryptocurrencies, whatever you have the data for, it will work for it. The problem that we ran into as professional traders is that we could not find a scanner that met our needs. We found a few on MT4 and MT5, but the ones we found were too complex to configure, which meant, yeah, you had to be a programmer to use it, or it was unstable, or just a single tool that really didn't integrate with the whole system. A lot of times it was incompatible with a lot of indicators, and there were a lot of other issues. And so what did? We decided to create MT4Professional for our own personal use, for our own daily trading. And so now we've made it available to others on MT4 and MT5, and it is the #1 tool on both platforms. It allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique rules and criteria. So when you find a good setup using MT4Professional, it allows you to enhance your trade with technical analysis, multiple technical analysis, which is not really easy to do on MT4 and MT5. And I will show you that here in just a minute. There's another question here. How can I make the chart bigger? It's images occupy half of your screen. Okay, I'm fixing to pull up my screen right now, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about as far as your issue, but I'll take a look right now. So let's go right into the demonstration. Let me launch my MT4 platform for you. I'm going to start up in just standard MT4 mode. As you can see that this is regular MT4. I'm not running MT4 Professional right now. I'm just running regular MT4. And you can see I've got 3 different charts and 3 different setups and stuff, 3 different time frames. They're all one symbol, but if I wanted to change a symbol, notice I'm clicking on my market watch, but nothing changes. I have to physically drag and drop a symbol over to the chart in order to get it to move and to change. So if I want to switch back and forth between these instruments, you can see that it's important to make sure that I have all of the instruments selected and moved in. Also, if I wanted to do multiple time frame analysis, I want to find out when this move started. So you can see on the hourly chart, it's moving down considerably. So on about the 2nd of February, I peaked out and started to downtrend at a break right there about February the 2nd at 0900. So if I were to go and look at the smaller time frame charts at that same time, then I have to scroll back to February the 2nd. Let me turn this off. I have to physically scroll back to February 2nd, about 0900. All right, about there. This was about the same location that was on the longer time frame chart. And that's, it's just really difficult to be able to see that on this chart and this chart and this chart all at the same time. Also, if I wanted to have a larger chart or get larger screen size, then you can see that if I expand my MT4 platform, the charts themselves don't go bigger, okay? I have to physically drag them in order to make them bigger. Since they're all the same size, I can use the window to resize them all to make them all one size or the other. But if I have different size windows and I want to keep the different sizes, that won't work. I physically have to redraw each one of these screens, okay? So let's go ahead and launch our MT4 Professional. Now, you see I have MT4 Professional set up in a profile for you. So all you have to do when you install MT4 Professional the first time, look for the MT4 Professional profile. You can always switch back and forth between MT4 and MT4 Professional just by choosing a different profile. So I'm going to choose my MT4 Professional profile. First thing you'll see is that it comes up with a configuration and a blank screen to allow you to choose which configuration you want to load. We're looking at EMA and price initially, so let's go ahead and load that configuration to see that. Now, there was a question about making the screen larger. So if you make MT4 Professional and your MT4 platform as big as it can go, notice that each of the screens redraw and make themselves full screen. So that's the nice thing about it, is that it's always using the most real estate available to you. And if you wanted to zoom in on one particular chart, like this one right here, then all I have to do is double click on the highlighted chart tab on the bottom, and I'll have access to that as a full screen window. I can do anything that I want to with it. And when I'm done with my analysis, then just double click again, and it's right back the way it was before. So you can do that on any of the charts, on any of the windows, just by double clicking on it and moving it back also. Also, notice that I have a crosshair that appears on all 3 of my windows. That gives me an ideal opportunity to look at a multiple time frame analysis. So I can see here on my smallest time frame that a bottom occurred, and I can see that's the same on all 3 of my windows. The lower trend was broken here as the price closed greater than my EMA. And I can also see that on the second time frame, I had to close at this point above my EMA, and I have an approaching close, coming close to that on my 30 minutes. So this looks like a very good opportunity for me to start looking at taking a trade in this setup. In this particular case, if I were to look for this, then I can see that there's a 12 to 15 pip potential profit already built into this trade if you're looking at trading that using these EMA and price strategy. Did I answer your question about making the screen larger, making these setups bigger? That way you can change things around. If you're looking at making the scanner itself, the scanner window larger, then I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in the presentation. You can see over here on the right, I have 3 charts. They're all different sizes. I have a large window and then 2 smaller windows. I have a profile and I have a template set up for each of these. Now this template is the EMA and price template. And I have it loaded on each of my charts so that it looks just the way I want it to. If you have a specific template that you like to use, and you can, of course, use that inside MT4Professional. So if you want to figure out how to get things to look like this and how to get the scanner running, click the Start Select a Configuration button right here. And what that does is it pulls up your configuration loader, and it allows you to go through all the presets so that you can choose the one that you're interested in editing. If you're doing this for the very first time, then all of these presets that I have in the customs that are created by you will be blank for you if it's your very first time to load it. What you will find are the presets or get examples. These are all of the examples that come preloaded in MT4Professional. There are 14 of them here on MT4. You will get 14 of them on MT5 as well, that allow you to load and look at that. So notice the edit option is grayed out because we don't allow you to change the presets, but what you can do is you can create your own and copy any of these configurations over to one that you create, and that's up here, your own creations. So by hitting create your own custom configuration, you can copy any of those and make it your own. So let me select the EMA and price. Oh, I hit load. I was supposed to hit edit, sorry. Select that and edit. By editing it, I have the ability to change what the charts look like over here on the right. All right, so clicking that allows me to resize the chart to be any size or configuration that I want. Notice I have on the left-hand side a larger chart and then 2 smaller ones. I also have the ability to change the time frame and the template that I want it to look like. So you can see I have the same template on all 3, but I don't have to use the same template. I can use one template on my 5-minute, and I can use a different template, say on my 30-minute. All I have to do is just click the plus sign, go out to all of my templates, and select the template that maybe I want to use. Maybe I want to use the 2050 template. Sorry. Instead of the EMA and price. That's great. Once you load it, then you can see a pull down menu allows you to use that same setup on any of the other chart windows as well. And if you want to change the time frame, you can use any time frame available to you on your platform. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this since I don't want to change my template. I'll just leave it set up like that. And so that's if you click on the chart setup. If you want to change your scanner or the symbols that you use, click on the scanner panel. So by clicking on the symbols, you get a configuration that allows you to choose from any symbol that your broker provides for you. So that on the left-hand side, you'll see all of the symbols that are on my platform provided by my broker. On the right are only the ones that I selected to use. So if you see one that you want, say this one, and you want to add it to your list, just simply click the right arrow and it will be added to your list. You can click and drag it to move it around. And if you don't want that particular one, then just click the X to remove it from your list. If you want to start from scratch, just click clear all. Or if you already have a symbol list on another configuration, just click start from another configuration. And then a configuration list will come up and you just pick the configuration that has the symbol list that you like and then it'll automatically be preloaded into this setup. Last but not least is the scanner itself. So if we go to the scanner panel and select the scanner option, then you can see goes into the actual rules. Now, we call these color rules because they're rules that the algorithm follows in order to change or to display the color on your spreadsheet. You've got as many columns as you set up and any instrument that you set up based upon your configurations. So in this first example, this is the EMA and price. So the color rule for the EMA and price is applied to the 5-minute, 15, and the 30-minute. Now, if I wanted more time frames, all I have to do is click this plus sign and add it. If you pull the menu down, you'll see that there's a small edit button here. So I can edit the main CR or the main color rule. I called it that. You can call it anything that you want to see exactly what the logic is behind how it colors these cells and how it alerts you. So I'm looking at the close of the current price action. I'm testing it to see if it's greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average. This is an indicator on my computer that I pulled up to compare with price. And these are logical operators that we can apply once we have them loaded into these comparing item A and B slots. They are pull down menus. So if you have more than one item loaded, you can just choose whichever one that you're interested in. But note, if this is displayed and you click edit on that, then it will edit the close for any of the windows that are here. So just wanted to let you know that you have to load a different instance if you want to use the close of price or any other indicator with different aspects. Like say, for example, I want to look at a 15 period and I want to look at a 30 period moving average. So all I have to do is just click a plus sign to add another line. I'm going to look at the 15 period. I want to make sure that it is greater than, in this case, I'm looking for a new indicator. So I'll click indicator. I will select trend, moving average. I will use that indicator. And instead of 15 period, I want to set it up as a 30 period. Simple or exponential, I'll keep it as simple. This other one is exponential. Click OK. So now you can see I'm looking at a 15 period cross of a 30 period simple moving average. And over on my condition set 2, this is the condition that is required for a bearish setup. This was bullish, it's green, bearish is red. So if close is less than that same 15, and if that same close, oh, I don't want close, I want my 15. If the 15 is less than my 30, boom. Now I've got a negative or a bearish setup. So the same criteria is applied to both conditions in order for me to see that. And so how it works is when the algorithm gets to a specific time frame, say the 5-minute, it's going to go to this condition set 1, and it's going to look at the close of price to see if it's greater than the 15 period moving average. And it's going to check to see that the 15 period EMA is greater than the 30 period simple moving average. If both of those are true, then it will color the cell green and it would move on. It won't even go and check this. But if either of these are not true, that's the OR operator. Either or, boom. It goes and checks condition set 2. Because if close is not greater than, well, chances are very good it's probably less than. So if the close is less than and the 15 is less than the 30, then that's bearish, and I want the cell to be red. If I don't want these other 2 conditions here, then all I have to do is just trash them. That goes back to the original setup and configuration. And if I have an OK, that saves all the conditions. If neither of these conditions are true, then it, by default, goes to the yellow color. All right, so that's the main color rule. I have that main color rule turned on and applied to 3 different time frames. I can turn it on and turn it off simply by clicking it. And if it's turned off, then it won't run for that time frame. But it will for anything that's turned on. And you can have multiple color rules. You don't have to be constrained to use only just one color rule. If you have a specific rule for your 5 and 15 minute, but you have a different rule for your 30 minute, use a different color rule and use different indicators if you want to. The choice is up to you. The width of the window here is defined by the size input right here. You can make it auto, which is by default, or you can set it up to be a small, medium, or large, depending upon how big you want this window to be. And if you want to be notified when the conditions are met, when any of these cells change and become either bullish or bearish, then click this box right here. And if you want to include a snapshot with your notification, then click this box here as well. And if you want to be notified on your cell phone also, then make sure that your cell phone number or your Telegram account are set up properly on your members area. And it's one click, really easy for you to integrate and to get that all set up and going. All right. So if there's any setup that you don't want to use anymore and you want to get rid of, then if you simply edit the button and click the delete, that will automatically delete this from the cloud and from your computer as well. Speaking of the cloud, all of the MT4Professional configurations are cloud-based, which means that they're backed up and you can use them in the cloud. That also means that you can travel and go other places and it goes with you. So that if your hard drive crashes or if your computer gets stolen, you don't lose your data. You do not lose your configurations. All you do is just reinstall your MT4 platform, put the software back on, and all of your data is already there, automatically downloads just like you left it. So you don't have to worry about losing the data because it's all backed up for you. Let me pull the edit up one more time. I also want to point out the Traders Network. In the bottom right-hand corner is a share icon. If you click this button, it allows you to share configurations that you've created with any other MT4Professional user. So if you're working with a team and you want to get everybody on the same page at the same time, all you have to do is enter their email address or their name, the first 3 characters or the first 3 letters of the email address, and it'll automatically pull up a list of users that meet that criteria, and you can send them the configuration that you just created. So that way everybody's on the same page at the same time, quick and easy. Also, I want to show you that MT4Professional is mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a browser. This is Chrome, a Chrome browser on my computer, but it's like on my my iPad, or if it's on my phone, my mobile phone, or it could be on my laptop computer. It's just a Chrome browser. And so what I do is I go to the members area. That's what I've got showing for you right here. By if you go to MT4Professional's main website, click on the sign in button right here. That'll take you to this page, which is the first page of your MT4Professional members area. We, of course, walk you through all of the onboarding steps to make sure that you get installed and everything's going. But the first thing I want to point out is that you can download the most recent version of the software right here at the top of every page that you go to here in the members area. I wanted to take you over to the account licenses, but no, I mean the real scanner page. The real scanner is a live running scanner that you have running back at the office. So say I had to go to lunch and I had to step away from my computer. I leave MT4 running on my computer and I pull it up here on my mobile device. And you can see that I have an exact replication of the scanner running on my platform. So I'm down at Panera Bread getting me a sandwich and some coffee with my friends. And all of a sudden I get an alert from the alert system that's here. Okay, so all the alerts and everything get set up and sent to your mobile device, either via the notification center here or via your MT4 notifications set up through email, SMS messaging, or text message. Okay. So all that can be automated for you. Once you get that set up and you see that the pound dollar is gone bullish and you're ready to take a trade on that, then all you have to do is set up and click that instrument. What MT4Professional does is it changes the symbol, okay, on your platform at the office to, all right, the symbol that you clicked on here on your mobile device. So now you can check and analyze the pound dollar for the potential for a trade setup. And you see that it's pulling back, stabilizing, getting ready to continue on the initial trade. I see that has a very good potential for continuing back up to previous highs. So I think I contacted my broker from that point there. I don't even have to get back to my office, and I execute my trade on my mobile device. So that's the beauty of the system, is that it's mobile. You can see it, you can set up your analysis, and you can click on it and interface with the integration of MT4Professional on your mobile device. Now, MT4Professional, the platform itself does not run on your mobile device, but you have access to it and can get all the information on any of your mobile devices that way. So it's really great live update system for your mobile devices. And you can manage any of the accounts that you have as well by going over to the account licenses. So if you have multiple licenses, then you can manage them here in the members area very easily. If you have a 2-user license and you have a third account you need to log into, all you have to do is just delete or remove one of the accounts and log in to the other account, and it will automatically create the account for you and keep track of it. So that way you can switch back and forth between accounts and everything remains working for you. Also, if you go into the settings icon, the settings page, then from here, you can change your profile. You can set up all of your security, any of your notifications preferences of whether you want to send it to your phone or to your Telegram account. If you want to set up on for the website to push to your computer and so forth, then set everything up and send it that way. You can also modify your subscription, your payment method, your credit card changes, or anything else. You have access to all of your previous historical invoices from this page as well. And you can cancel your subscription at any time through the subscription portal here. So let me go back to my page. From the home page, then you can see you have access to join our exclusive Skype chat group. That's all of the MT4Professional users available 24/7 on the Skype channel. You can also go to the documentation center, which is our online help center. From here, see, I don't have that up, so let me go ahead and get to it. It's our knowledge base, which shows all the videos to get started, to get going, helps for the most frequently asked questions, and also configuration help on getting set up, the scanner rules, how to set up and use the specific strategies that we have provided for you, or how to change and modify your workspaces as well. So all of that is there, including different changes, how to subscribe or unsubscribe or cancel, and update your credit card information, all from one very easy location. And there's always multiple places to create a new support ticket or to ask a question if you ever need the help along the way. Okay. Lastly, want to go to a little bit more difficult configuration. This is an example that shows multiple multiple indicators running at the same time, multiple instances loaded, and how to integrate those with MT4Professional. Now, if you're looking for and using custom indicators or ones that you've written yourself, or when you've purchased from a third party, you can integrate those as well. And I have another example of how to show that. I'll show you how to use that. But here, this is the EMA and price. I mean, this is the MACD setup. So we're looking at the histogram relative to the signal line that you see here. So if we were to go into configuration and click edit, then you'll see that under the scanner rule settings, I have two different color rules set up. One's a strong signal. The other one is a trend CR, trend color rule. I can name these any name I want to. These are just the ones I picked to do that. So let's look at the strong signal because it's turned on here for my 4-hour chart. A strong signal is bearish if the MACD, and this is the MACD base indicator, that's the white histogram that you see here. If that base indicator is less than the MACD signal line, that's the red line that you see on the chart. So if this is less than that red line, that would be a condition to cause my color rule to be red or bearish. I have an AND operator, which means that in addition to this, I have to have this true also, which means the price has to be less than a 15-period exponential moving average. So on my chart, that would be the price bars here, and this is my 15 EMA. So I can visually see where that might have occurred. You can see here that I have a bearish MACD, but I do not have a bearish price action. I do at this point, okay, but at that point, I don't have bearish relative strength, which is my third string. I'm looking for relative strength. In this case, I have two instances of relative strength loaded. One is looking at the relative strength 2 bars ago, so historical relative strength, and I'm comparing that to relative strength current. So the currently closed relative strength. So if historical relative strength is less than the current relative strength, that's bullish because that shows a positive trend. Okay. So if previous here is less than current, that's a positive or greater than, greater than, then that's a positive slope, which is bullish. If it's less than, in this case, you can see that the previous is greater than the current, then that would be a negative slope, which is bearish. So that's the idea behind that. So the rules are looking for those conditions to satisfy either bullish or bearish. If neither of these are true, then it will color the cell yellow, which is the default color, showing that it's still being set up and hasn't met the criteria for a trade. The next condition here is on my weekly chart, and I have it turned on as only a trend color rule. Notice I don't have the strong signal turned on for this because I don't really care about looking for all of that on my weekly chart because it's just too slow. All I want to get from it is what's the trend? Okay, so by editing that, then you can see the rules I use are just, is price less than or greater than the EMA 15? So if you look over here on this weekly chart, if price is less than, it's bearish. If price is greater than, it's bullish. And so I'm trading with that in mind. And it tells me that. All right, so that's that shows you the utility of it, that you can get as complex or as simple as you want, just determining based upon the instruments that you're using. One of the tools that I want to show you now is the data window. So if you click on the data window by using Control D or just clicking on this icon, or if you go up under view, go down to the data window, then that will open and launch the data window itself. And if you notice, the data window shows you the instrument values, but it also shows you all of the indicators that you have loaded and which window that they're in. So you can see the relative strength is down in window 2. You see it down here. And the MACD is in window number 1. And then I have the EMA and price on the main window here. So by moving my mouse over that window, you can see the output values, that's these numbers right here, change as my mouse moves around. So I can look at the actual outputs of the indicators right here on the screen. So at that point, you can see that relative strength at this point right here is 38.13. But if I move down here to the current relative strength, then you can see that relative strength is 30.9. So you can see that's definitely less than. So if I compare the previous value, 38, to the current value, 27, that's less than, you can see I have a declining relative strength. It's really easy to see that. If your indicator gives this type of output, then that's what you want to look for. But notice the MACD has two different outputs. Well, if you're looking at the output of the MACD or any indicator that has multiple outputs, then all you have to do is remember just to simply label these in order of their appearance. The first one is going to be line number 1. The second one is going to be line number 2, and so forth. If you have more than 2 outputs, it'll be 3, line 4, line 5. So if we were to go into that configuration, edit it, go to that scanner, say that we wanted to add a new indicator to this rule, then by clicking the plus sign here, that allows me to set up a new indicator. So I can choose from any standard indicator on my MT4 or MT5 platform. Or if I have a custom indicator or one that I purchased from a third-party vendor, just pick from my computer and I look for the name of the indicator that I want to use. All right. Let's say that I purchased these Hawkeye tools and I click on that indicator and click open. Then you can see that I have different parameters. These are the inputs that you have that the indicator show you. So if I were to look at my indicator list over here, you can see that each of the indicators have a parameter list here. This is the first parameter number 1. Here's parameter number 2, 3, and 4. Notice that I have them all listed in order. So you can have up to 10 different parameters for each indicator to have that loaded in. The important part that I want to get to here is that, especially if you have more than one output, is the line to use. The line to use is preset to number 1. So that's looking at the first output of the data window. And that first output in the case of a MACD is line 1. So I can look at line 2, line 3, or all the way up to line number 8. So MT4 limits us on how many outputs that we can actually use here. But in this particular case, we're only interested in outputs 1 and 2 if you're looking at the indicator there. Okay. So tried to make that as clear as possible. Always keep your default indicator parameter values checked if you're not going to change them. But if you have to change the parameters for any indicator you're using, then uncheck this and then put in whether it's a number or a string, and then input the value that you need to change it to. If you have a question or if you need any help along the way on setting these up, then just simply click this button and allow us to help you in the configuration and setup of your specific indicator. Okay. Once you change any configuration and you've made updates to it, all you have to do is hit the save button. Clicking the save button will put a check mark there, and what it does, it automatically saves it to the cloud and it saves it to your computer. So that way you have a backup of any changes that you've made and you're ready to go on that. Close the window and always hit the load button to make sure that any changes you made to the current configuration are updated and loaded to the current setup. That way it refreshes your screen, changes all the setups, and and displays all of the updates that you have just made. All right, are there any questions then? before I get going over to the offer. All right, then. Let me do that. So I'll make you a very special offer for being part of my class today. MT4 Professional is provided for you on MT4 and MT5 as full featured platform. Okay, all the features are there ready to go. You get access to our exclusive Skype chat group. You get unlimited configurations, unlimited Telegram, emails, push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications included every single month. Plus, you get dozens of pre-configured presets on each MT4 or MT5 platform for a total value that we think is marginal at best, but we never sell it for this price. We have set it aside as $194 a month, but even that was a little bit high. So we make it available to you as part of my class for 50% off of our regular listed price for $97 a month. We give you 14 days to try it out, risk-free. No charges to your credit card or anything else gets done during the 14-day trial. And you can get started today by clicking this link, mt4professional.com/trial. Claudio has provided that for you in the members chat area on your Zoom window. So click on that as a convenience. 14 days to try it out. If you cancel any time during the 14 days, then your credit card never gets charged and it goes away. You don't have to worry about it. But at the end of the 14 days, if you like it, then you don't have to do anything. It'll automatically charge $97 to your account. And you don't have to worry about the reduced price changing after the first month or the second month or any time after that. What it will do is it'll remain the discounted price for the life of your subscription. So that the discount gets grandfathered into your specific account. If you do have any questions in the meantime, you can always contact us at support@mt4professional.com to make any questions or comments about the platform or to request any help along the way. That's support@mt4professional.com. So I'm going to go back to my platform here and I'll make it so that you can still see the link that's there. You are welcome, Mr. Burns. Someone had asked about the custom configuration. So I'll load up. I've got several of the Hawkeye examples here. I'll load that and show you here. I've got 3 different time frames. Notice I've got multiple instruments signaling on multiple time frames. So one time frame, I've got 3 different signals loaded on it. On the second time frame, I have 2 signals, and on the third time frame, I only have 1. That's pretty complex. And I'm using an indicator that I purchased as a third-party vendor to look at that point. So what I'm looking for is when the trend, when the momentum and volume all agree, then that's the location of where I would look at taking a specific trade. If I have that in agreement with my second time frame, I'm looking specifically for the momentum and volume. And the third time frame, I'm looking specifically for volume. All right. So these are the setups that I'm specifically looking at. So if I look at my configuration for this and edit it, then you can see that I have 3 different color rules applied. One is for the trend, one is for the volume, one is for the heat map. Okay. So if I look at the trend indicator, then the trend is looking at the trend and stops indicator to see if it is greater than a value of 0. Well, what that means is that the indicator always is blank until it triggers or fires. So if I move my mouse over any of the green trend dots, then the data window output that I showed you earlier will fire off the price value of that price bar. That means it's greater than 0. The red price bars here will be blank, so they will not be off. So if the condition set 2 comes up and checks this to see if the trend and stop is greater than 0 for the second time frame, here. So you notice I have a 1, 2, and a 3. Well, this is looking to see if it's bullish. So the first one says, is it bullish? If it's greater than 0, yes, then it'll be green. If the second line, which is bearish, if it's greater than 0, then it will turn itself red, and so forth. So it's very simple, very straightforward, very easy to use. So I just want to and the third output of that indicator is white. So you can look to see whether it's in congestion, whether it's bullish or bearish based upon your specific setup. I can apply that to any of the time frames. Notice that my 5-minute, I have 3 different color rules applied. For my 15-minute, I only have 2 of the 3 color rules. And for the 30-minute, I am only looking at 1. I'm looking at volume across all 3, though. All right, so that's the idea behind the strategy, and the configuration is very straightforward and easy to use. So, Lawrence, yeah, you should, Claudio should have answered your question there for you. So any specific questions with related to that, let me know. And Lawrence, since I know you are also a Hawkeye user, I'll be glad to send this to you if I haven't already sent it to you, and I can share it with you. So you don't have to worry about setting it up on your own. You can just use mine. And all right, I'll do it right now to show you how easy it is. So I click edit. I click share. Look for you. No, that's not you. I can't find you, Lawrence. Yeah, it's not coming up for some reason. No, I can't seem to find you. You might not have a current subscription with MT4Professional. That's probably why we can't find you. If you have a subscription with us right now, then I can send it to you. And if you do, sign up for your trial right away. Let me know. Just send me an email. Yeah. So if you haven't set it up yet, just click on the link, set up your trial. You get 14 days to try it out for free. Send me an email, and I will copy this over to you right away, and then you'll be able to get it. Once you do get it, then all you have to do is click create your custom configuration. Scroll down to the very bottom. There'll be an inbox here. The file configuration that I send you will be loaded there. Just click on it and click yes, and it'll make a copy of that configuration for you. Give it a name, tell it some a brief description that describes it, and then click save, and it will save it to your computer. And it'll back it up to the cloud. You're welcome, Lawrence. Hey, John, is that the trend module in the large chart? All 3 charts have the trend module in it, John. The trend module shows the trend dots and the automatic trailing stops on your screen. So you can see the trend is here showing the 5-minute trend. Here it's on the 15-minute chart showing the 15-minute trend. And here it's on the 30-minute chart showing the 30-minute trend. So it's applied, and the charts, it's on all 3 of the charts. But on these 2 charts here, I just have the trend, the heat map, and the volume. And over on this one, I have both of the roadkill indicators displayed. Exactly. All right, and let us know if you're interested in any of these. We do have an affiliate relationship with Hawkeye, so that we can get you a good discount on the tools if you're interested in those. Just let us know at support@mt4professional.com. So we're about out of time today then, unless there are any other questions. then I just want to say thank you for being here. And if you do want to contact us again, it's support@mt4professional.com. Just mention me or Claudio or any of our other fine technical support staff, and we'll be more than glad to get to you and answer your questions and set you up and get you going again. Don't forget to take advantage of the 14-day free trial, mt4professional.com/trial to get going today. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. And we'll be back in exactly 2 weeks for another presentation and another live Q&A session. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.